And they don't know I did it, but screw them because I can't stand the city that I lived in. And it was awesome what I did. It was a nice little payback. Okay, so sorry I'm the color of a tomato. This is just how angry I am. So my husband called the police to do a wellness check. They almost broke down the door. I was just in the shower. That's why I didn't answer the phone. But I heard them and I came to the door in a towel and they like insisted on coming in because my husband had told them what was going on and that he was convinced I wasn't alive. And so he's like, what's going on? And so I tell him what's going on and I told him everything. I told him that the city had lied and that there were no permits and that I had complained several times a month for years and that I had gotten to a point where I felt like, and I know people are probably like, why didn't you just move? Well, have some critical thinking skills. Not everybody can just move, okay? That's not always an option. So I'm not going to explain why I couldn't just move, but for those of you who are like, why can't you just move? Just work on your critical thinking skills. Thank you. Because I know people said that to me. Like, why don't you just move? It's not always that easy. Okay. Sorry for getting angry. So I told the police everything. The police were concerned that they were going to leave and I was going to hurt myself. And I wasn't. Like, I wasn't in a place that day. And I said, but, you know, it's a real possibility that it could happen any day because this is, I've gotten to a place where I can't handle this any longer. And it's really hard every day. And I'm speaking in code because there's certain words you can't say on this app. And he was like, okay. And he says, like, is there anything I can do for you? And I said, you know what? As a matter of fact, can you please write down everything I said to you? Let me read it before you leave. I want everything documented in detail, like the day it started, all the days that I've complained, and the fact that now you're at my house doing a wellness check because I have reached a point where I'm having a hard time living. And he said, okay. And so we did this. We did this police report. And within days of the report being filed, I didn't call anybody or anything. I made sure the report was filed. But within days of this report being filed, of all the stuff that had taken place and that everything was documented, I had everything documented. I also included every single person who worked for the city who I had spoken to within that 3-year span that had lied to me and just fed me crap. And that I was to a place where the police were now having to come to my house and check on me because I was at that severely, you know, in a situation. Within days of that police report being filed, everything went away. The city packed up and everything went away. I don't know if it was a coincidence. I don't know what exactly happened, but I think maybe if there's something on file that is a report that can't really go away. And I told them, I said, look, if this happens, my spouse will make certain that everybody knows that it was an ongoing fight with the city and it was just completely ignored. It went away, like within days of that report getting filed. And I'm not sure if the two were related. They felt kind of related, but it felt like it took that to get them to follow their own laws. They were breaking their own laws, their own ordinances, all this stuff, just lying. I can't stand that city. Ugh.